this camera shot. This one should be weird. This is another one. I'm kind of finding books on my shelves that I don't know if I put there or they were put there by other people. Joyce Meyer, the 2 million copy bestseller. So another bestseller, which only means that I'm going to open up into the middle and find out that we're all anti-Zionists. I don't know what happened last time. Battlefield of the Mind. Winning the battle in your mind. So she has the topic, and then she says you should win it. I'm like, I was thinking losing the battlefield of your mind might actually be a better self-help book, because I know a lot of things I think are wrong, and I would rather lose them than fix them or make them more powerful. And that's just because I'm a trash person, I think. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Anyway, Joyce Meyer, I'm wishing you luck, and I hope I open up to a good chapter or some paragraph, but I accidentally opened up to a first paragraph where she actually has blank pages in here. Page 161. To contact the author, I've never seen this before. It says to contact the author, please write. Like, everybody's going to want to contact her. She has a P.O. box. There's a guy from Canada, London, Ontario, Canada. It's her every time. Joyce Meyer Ministries. Oh, okay. So this might be religious. Joyce Meyer Ministries Canada, Joyce Meyer Ministries Australia, Joyce Meyer Ministries England, Joyce Meyer Ministries South Africa. So she's got a lot going on. She has a lot of ministries, and I'm sure that she just splits between those. And I know everybody hates people that are religious or that are pandering to the religious people, but if you can make a buck off of it, you're gonna do your best. You're like, wait a second, I don't have to work anymore, and I just say all the same shit I always said. I can't blame her. Now, if she believes it, she has to back it up. If she doesn't believe it, she should be in jail. So that's a very 0 or 1 kind of. I'm going to read the opening paragraph. The Mind of Christ. Well, the guy I bought the bookstore from, he used to be a priest. He got defrocked because he plowed a nun. And so there's a lot of Christian books. This is probably where this came from. Maybe he gave it to me and I just put it in the thing. I still have his book that he wrote. And what he did, I have 0 against. I mean, who wouldn't plow a nun? So chapter 15, The Mind of Christ. I believe that you have now made a firm decision to choose right thoughts. So let's look at the types of thinking that would be considered right according to the Lord. Or some. I don't think there's right thinking. I think there's your thinking. There are certainly many types of thoughts that would have been considered unthinkable to Jesus when he was on the earth. If you want to follow in his footsteps, then let's begin to think as he did. I think good things can come of this, but also horrible things come of this. And I think in history, horrible things come far more often when you think of somebody's footsteps. I think every individual should have their own opinion, and I don't think following in somebody's footsteps is, I mean, you might get lucky. You might pick the greatest following your footsteps guy ever, but there's a 50-50 shot you're following somebody that's not. All right. I'm going to finish this page and then end it. I'll talk about something religious. And anyway, I knew hope and spirit. A new heart will I give you, and a new spirit I will put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes. And you shall heed my ordinances and do them. Ezekiel 36, 26, 27. As Christians, you and I have a nature, which is actually the nature of God deposited in us at the new birth. New birth was capitalized. I haven't heard that one before, and I'm Catholic. We can see from this scripture that God knew if we were to heed his ordinances and walk in his statutes, that he would have to give us his spirit and a new heart and mind. Romans 8:6 speaks of the mind of the flesh and the mind of the spirit and tells. That's just tells us that death is the result of following the mind of the flesh. There's a lot of other ways to die than following the mind of the flesh. Unless you're all immortal. And life is a result of following the mind of the spirit. That's actually a good sentence. At least that's something I can talk about. Death is a result of following the mind of the flesh. And life is the result of following the mind of the spirit. That's a tough one because it's like, you know what your body wants to do. I mean, we all have certain needs and we all have fun. So you're always going to have like the mind of the body, but that's not death. That is pretty much how the human species propagates, is the mind of the death, according to her. The mind of the spirit, I'm trying to figure out. It's like maybe it's like what you want to do versus what you know you should do. I'm giving her a lot of leeway right here because she is not very mind of the spirity. So what I'm thinking is, like, I want to take care of it. If a dude showed up and is like, I'm starving, I've got tons of food, I'll order Domino's for you. I don't care. It's not like one of those things. That doesn't happen in real life. So the mind of the spirit in real life, it must be something where I don't know. I think it comes down to, we can't all be superheroes. Maybe that's wrong, but we can't all do exactly what we want to do because it's just physically impossible. So, like, I would love to take care of everybody. Like, I'll go back. I used to. So I had before this guy, I had a Greyhound, and I used to volunteer at this Greyhound place, and I know they're gonna get put down. And they had this one dude, his name was Kermit, and he was crazy, and they had to give him pills to make him not crazy. And I was like, my dog had just died, and so I was just alone in my condo, and I'm like, I can take care of him. They wouldn't let me take care of him. They actually shut me down. They said, no, you can't take care of him. And I'm like, it's a controlled environment. It's like one room. I've had a Greyhound literally a month ago before the guy passed. I can handle it. I mean, and Greyhounds aren't like pit bulls. It's not like you're not going to get killed by a Greyhound. They might nip at you, but they're not. They're not capable of any serious damage if you're like me. If you're like a 6'2", 200-pound guy. And so I was thinking, man, why won't they? And they have rules. I think they were stupid rules, and I know that dog got put down. He could have been my dog. So I don't know. Where do you draw the line between going with the spirit and the mind? And I could have started a whole funk. I could have talked to everybody that worked there, begged them not to kill him, that I would take care of him. But then also what happens, he was a little crazy. So, I'm in a 6-story condo kind of situation. What happens if he nips at a kid in the elevator? So I need to have some extra insurance. Meanwhile, a kid gets nipped because I have a crazy dog. Maybe it was right. I think it was wrong. I think they should have let me keep him. I literally asked the lady that owned the place. I don't know. I'm getting way off topic. Yeah. If a person is thinking according to the mind of Christ, what will his thoughts be like? If Christ is actually the Son of God, nobody's going to be able to think like him because he's actually omniscient. So what? This one's kind of pissing me off, and I'm kind of curious how it even got in my bookshelf. You can't think like an omniscient person where you barely have any, like, I know like 1% of what actually goes on in the world. And she's trying to say, I need to think like Christ. No, I can't. That's the whole point of being Christ. Anyway, thanks. Bye.